I've been preparing for adulthood in numerous different ways. For instance, I've slowly started doing a lot more family chores, such as taking care of our puppy or going out on weekends to get our family groceries, now that I have my license. Outside of my family, I've worked a job for the last 3 years in conjunction with all my schoolwork. At my job, I pick up responsibility by being in charge of teaching children and making sure that their learning is going smoothly. In addition, to relieve some of the stress of my parents, I've started preparing my own meals and managing my whole schedule. This means that I schedule my doctor's visits, manage my extracurriculars, and manage my whole work schedule as well. Finally, I've also taken upon guardianship of my brother. As a part of this, I take him to his extracurriculars and schedule most of his activities too. Between all these roles, I've had ample opportunity to perfect skills that will help me a lot in college, such as time management and prioritization. I'm sure these will be the keys to success later in college. In college, I think that the chance that I will major in business is probably a 9. I think business is an important area of study for everyone to have some sort of experience in because I think it applies to nearly every other major. It also helps people develop pivotal communication skills and financial management skills that apply to every aspect of life. In addition to majoring in business, I want to dual major in computer science or biomedical engineering. I leave it open to two choices because I plan to take some classes my freshman year to determine which one I will choose. My dream is to use my plethora of skills and knowledge from my collegiate education and start a business that deals with biomedical technology or information technology solutions. That way, I can combine both business with my hobbies to make it an interesting and profitable profession. I faced an ethical challenge when I started working at my current job. When I first started working there, I noticed that a lot of my coworkers would go to the break room excessively and waste company time. I felt like this was wrong because our employer had placed a lot of trust in us by giving us a break room and allowing us to schedule our own breaks. To solve this issue, I talked to my fellow employees in the break room and gently suggested that they take breaks less often because it was paramount to stealing from the business. Although this resolved the issue, I also informed management that a few employees seemed to be taking too many breaks and informed them of my actions so that they can stay alert to such an issue in the future. Luckily, this resolved the issue quickly without any friction, and an ethical dilemma was completely avoided. My most meaningful learning experience would be my experience at JDRF's Children's Congress, where I was selected from a national pool to go to Washington, D.C., and talk to federal legislators regarding pivotal diabetes legislation. After meeting with Representative Alma Adams, Senator Richard Burr, and Senator Tom Tillis, I learned how I, with lots of hard work and dedication, have the power to instigate such change and reform on a national level. It really inspired me to continue my advocacy, and is the reason that I'm currently working with the Office of Representative Adams to draft a bill that mandates blood sugar checks at all pediatric appointments. If passed, this bill would reduce the number of complications related to type 1 diabetes and improve the lives of millions of people around the world. Now that my junior year is ending, I've considered a lot of schools in North Carolina, as well as areas such as the Northeast and the West. I consider these areas in order to be around places with a plethora of business innovation. I've already visited all the schools that interest me in the state, such as NC State, UNC Chapel Hill, Duke, Appalachian State, Wake Forest, and UNC Charlotte. In addition, I've visited the schools that interest me out of the state in the West, including Stanford and University of California, Berkeley. I've also visited most of the Northeastern schools that interest me, such as Columbia, Yale, and Johns Hopkins. And for the remaining schools in Massachusetts, I've already booked a flight over spring break. I plan to see MIT and Harvard. Because I spaced out visiting all my colleges over my sophomore year and some into my junior year, I've been able to visit all my schools in a timely and planned manner. In addition, I've been able to add more college visits as I find more schools that I would like to attend. After giving it a great amount of thought, I plan to make my final decision after hearing back from all the schools regarding admissions, scholarships, and financial aid packages. As someone who had a rough diagnosis with type 1 diabetes, I want to be able to start my company and build the world's first fully autonomous artificial pancreas. My dream is to improve the lives of each and every single person with type 1 diabetes and educate others about the disease so that no one will ever have to suffer through what I went through again. With the help of Martha Guy Summer Institute, I want to gain the business knowledge that it takes to make my dream into a reality. With all the work that I put into my dream and the effort that I put into advocacy, I really hope to gain the opportunity to attend MGSI and take my dream to the next level. I really want to thank you for reviewing my application and allowing me to share so much about myself. I hope that I'll be considered for this wonderful program.